Hi everybody, welcome back to TerraFirmaCraft Season 6, Episode 79 with me, Sid, and last episode we finished, it's been several episodes, we finished this, which is our natural looking topped thing with a thing and things in it, and yeah, it looks pretty good. Now I have brought a few things up with me. We do need a 3x3 area for that. I'm going to need to find a spot for you. Let's try there with a little bit of that going on next to it. So I want to move most of my Britannia stuff up here, and I'm wondering if I could get away with, I'm sure I could, moving, yes, that's a good idea. Right, I will need some chestnut, so there we go. And I'm probably going to need some great wood, and then we're going to head to the tower, where we are going to dig up all of that and place you down like so. We're also going to dig up this one because this really doesn't want to be there, and place you down like so too. And then we need to go and empty our mana pool. Oh, and that as well. Oh, yes, that's an interesting question. How do I do that? Right, well, first things first. Let's drain. Oh, no. Drain you and put you back on my pinky, and then I'm going to grab you and we are going to replace that. We're going to grab that and we're going to grab that. Then it's just the chests which we need to worry about. So let's think this through. Let's go up to the tower top. Tower top. Really do need to move you, but this late in the season, is it really worthwhile? Now, I could go down and put it in here, but I think that might be overkill. I think the smaller tower is probably the better one, better suited for this, because A, it's a bit shorter. B, it's shorter still. Right. Oh, that was probably a mistake, wasn't it? Okay, well, we'll sort this. It's not a problem. So pop that there. Like that. That works. And then these are brick, aren't they? Yes. Perfect. Sorry, getting carried away. So then we could, actually we don't even want that, do we? Because what I want to do is I want to grab one of those and I want to point it straight up like that, and then we're going to pop these down here, and then here we place, nope, no, not like that, like that. Yeah, and then we can grab my wander the forest. It's ironic that I'm doing Britannia again in mana and brass and things. So bind you to that. Perfect. I didn't really need to do that. That would have been fine, but this is all good. Oh, hang on. How are those bound? Let me just check. They have all bound correctly to that mana spreader. Lovely. And then the question is, if I place another mana spreader here, we continue up the ladder, place that there, take that out. I know it looks a bit weird, but you know, go with it. Are you in bind mode? Yes, you are. There we go. And that binds nicely to that. So that works. Let's go grab some charcoal and get myself some mana being generated. I should have a reasonable amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That will do for starters. Tower top. Get the right thing, John. And we can just run down here. Chuck those out. Chuck those out. Oh, that's not good. No, that binds to that. Much better. Right, so that is now doing its thing there. That's all good, and we can... What next? Probably bring up some of the Britannia chesty stuff. We've got you. We've got my living daisy there. Yes. No, that's not what I wanted. There. I need to drop off some of this temporarily. Just temporary, which means, you know, it's going to be there in like 6 months' time, so... Well, this series hasn't got 6 months, but you know what I'm saying. Tower top. Because we are getting very close to the end. In fact, next episode is the end. Let's do them like that, I think. And back down, grab the next one, because there's more than one Britannia chest down here. Tower top. Boom. But it's been a blast doing this series. I've had a lot of fun and done a lot of things which, you know, didn't always pan out the way I anticipated, but such is life. And no, wrong one. There we go, and then probably grab those as well while we're at it. And this floor is now looking very bare. I don't know what I can actually do in the short time I have to unbear this, because I don't think there's any chance of me getting, say, an infusion altar going, for example. That's just highly unlikely to happen. And yeah, that's probably as it should be. There's a lot of inconsistencies in this pack. A lot of things that just don't play nicely. But But that's fine. I mean, if we... let's just go to the library first, because I did have that spell, which I could have sworn I know. They were not identify scrolls. I thought I had identify scrolls, but I don't. So let us pop that in, and I'm going to change you for that spell, because I don't know what you do, but I would like to know, and the other one keeps on trying to kill me. Let's go to the castle. Oh, okay. I can flick switches to distance. Yay, go me. Oh, water. I ain't gonna die if I don't have a drink. So yeah, there are limits to what I think we can achieve now, and oh, hello. What are you doing in there? I got a pet. I shall call him Philip. I did ever get an anvil that allows me to name things, did I? No, that's a shame. But there you go. Such is the way of the world right now. So yeah, first things first. So I don't know how many people who watch this channel are creators, for want of library. For want of a better phrase, I'm not a big fan of the phrase creator. It kind of implies that in some way they are, or we are, more creative than other people, and you know that's clearly not the case. We just have a different creative medium and outlet. Needless to say, I do woodwork as well, so you know I could argue that I was a creator there. But if you are a creator with a small channel, or even a huge channel, you know, anybody with 10 million subs out there who's watching me, feel free to donate a few. No. I recently got an email from, well, what appeared to be from the creators of Stray. I can't remember the name of the Blue Horizon, is it, or something like that, offering me a advertising deal, and it looked very above board. I'll be honest, I didn't really go into it as much detail as I probably should have, if I were honest, but they were offering a small advertising deal for me to put adverts at the front of my videos for Stray. And if you're not familiar with Stray, it's a game that involves a stray cat in a futuristic place that gets lost in this underground, I suppose, vault or bunker. Anyway, long story short, I'm like, yeah, I'd support Stray. I like Stray. It's a kitty cat game, and I'm a big fan of kitty cats. So look at that. I really am happy with the way that worked out. So I replied and said, yeah, I'm a big fan of kitty cats. I might be interested in doing that. Send me what you got. And they sent me a thing, and it says, here's a zip file, and it's got details of the contract and the video we expect you to put in there, and blah, blah, blah. We'll give you you tell us what you think your advertising's worth. That set alarm bells ringing, I should say, because surely they would set what my advertising is worth based on my number of views and things. And we'll sub you 30% in advance as a down payment, and you know, blah blah blah. So I downloaded the zip file, opened it, scanned it, as I always do now. Whenever anybody sends something that can contain viruses, I always scan it. And the PDF, which was the contract, lo and behold, was actually a screensaver. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not 100% certain whether a screensaver can carry a virus or not, but that set alarm bells ringing. So I went in and had a look about advertising scams for things, and apparently it's a scam, which I should have guessed, because, you know, I really am too small to be getting kind of offers like that. So, long story short, the scam goes that they sign you up, they go to small creators, they get you interested, they say they'll send you a 30% advance on whatever fees you agree to display your video in so many, their advert in so many videos, blah blah blah. And then they contact you to say they sent you too much, about 100 times too much, and you need to do a refund. Yes. So, if you get an offer like that, do due diligence. My general rule of thumb is if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. So, yeah. Just be cautious. There are scammers out there, out for everybody, and, you know, it's easy to get caught up in the moment thinking, yes, I've got big enough to get the notice of someone who wants to do one of these promotions with me, blah blah blah. And it doesn't work like that. The world doesn't give things to you on a platter. It never has, it never will. It doesn't matter what you think you're worth. I just noticed that one there is missing its little nookie things. Okay, doesn't matter. Anyway, so on to the next point. So I keep saying that we're coming close to the end of this series. We are. I think I have pushed this as far as I am willing to push this pack. The incompatibilities between certain mods just mean that, you know, these are not ready yet. Oh, they are there. Interesting. Just to me means that there's too many things that just don't work as they should. And that's fine. I recognise TerraFirmaCraft is an awkward pack to mod for. It really is. However, I don't want to push myself any further with these, just purely and simply because you know, there's an investment in time and effort, and I seen absolutely no point in trying to advance in Thermacraft, for example, only to be hit by this item needs a Minecraft item that doesn't exist in TerraFirmaCraft, and that seems to be the one that's really catching me out a lot, is that the game wants the Minecraft versions of things, and they just don't exist in the game. It's, you know, again, no fault, not casting blame. This just, it is an awkward one to mod for. We had similar problems in the 1.7 mod packs with things that just didn't work, and I've managed to code around them or tweak the configs in most cases, but it's just not always possible, and I don't want to do it anymore. It's been a good run. I've enjoyed it. But you have to accept sometimes that things are not meant to be, and this is one of the things. A lot of garlic. And a few people have made a few suggestions what I should do, and a few people have suggested GregTech New Horizons as a similar to TerraFirmaCraft grindy experience. Now, I want to go on record as saying that my criteria for selecting things to do is not based on how grindy they are. I don't like grind just for the sake of grind, but, and I swore I would never do this, I have poked around with GregTech, and I am going to give it a try. Certainly I played a couple of hours, just early game stuff, you know, and yeah, it seems okay. There's a lot of recipe changes, which are going to be awkward to get my head around. I don't mind recipe changes. I dislike recipe changes when there's changes for the sake of change, for obvious reasons. You know, nobody likes being forced to do things beyond a certain point. But that said, wow, rotten tomato already, and rotten cabbages. Lovely. Let's swap out the rot for the good. That should be okay. Those appear to be okay. You can have that. Yeah, so that is the plan. Greg Tech New Horizons will be what replaces this. And I was going to push this to episode 80. I think, to be honest, I will be pushing it to episode 80 purely for a nostalgic point. You know, the 80 is a good round figure. So, I think this is the point where I say that we're well finished. I just have had a blast with this. I mean, let's just have a look at where we came from, because we started with a completely different pack, of course, and I ran 2-3 episodes in, I can't even remember the pack now, it's that long ago, but it was an absolute lag fest. It was terrible, and yeah, just abandoned it at the very first available opportunity. Now we spawned, where did we spawn? I can't remember whether it was over, I can't remember where we actually spawned now. I think it was over kind of here-ish, maybe. Don't think it was down there. That was me exploring, and we've done a lot of exploring. But I remember coming across here, so I think we must have been around, maybe around about there-ish, perhaps. I cannot remember now. It's that long ago. But it would probably, that would kind of tie into the 0-0 kind of feel over there anyway. And did the usual, wandered around for a bit, had a few episodes hiding in caves. Well, we don't have to hide in caves other than for the wildlife, and we eventually found this spot, which I decided would be an ideal thing, because it had the island in the middle and this lovely lake around it, and yeah, that was it. This area was born, and we had a lot of problems with, if we look over there, meteorites. They were a thorn in our side there as well, so eventually turned those off because that was a thing. But I've been really happy with this castle. It has worked out really well. The tomb is an interesting idea, and I've obviously in Manor and Brass, with the new series that I've got at the moment, there is a graveyard, and that will feature each and every death that we are unfortunate enough to do, which is less deaths than you might think. One there. Did that one die? No, we never died, that one. So not as bad as I think it was, but definitely got caught out. The invasions every 10 days, I mean, this helped a great deal, except for the Vex one, and putting in the if we had moss carpets in this, then that would have been covered up. The Nether was horrendous, but that was mainly due to, well, a couple of things. One is obviously the general soft squishiness of the character in TerraFirmaCraft, our armour. This is not vanilla. This is not where you end up with top tier armour in the first 2 or 3 days. You know, diamond armour, a suit of diamond armour within a few days of playing is quite capable in vanilla Minecraft. Enchanted, in a lot of cases, yes. Not the case in this. It's taken, you know, all of this time to get to the point where we have red steel, and it's taking a beating already. Look, I mean, that helmet is really taking a thing. But the nether portal we got in, that was reasonably things. We started on a mage tower. We faffed around with a bit of the magic. Blobs has probably been the most successful. I'm not going to do some skeleton, you know, because it is simple. It doesn't require much. There are a few things that appear to be locked behind unattainable items, but for the most part, it's been pretty good. Britannia had some stuff is available, other stuff isn't. TerraFirmaCraft is probably the one that's had the biggest difficulty. But we achieved a lot. We've got our forge, which is early on. I did have to, well, I jumped through hoops of burning fire, drenched in petrol, to get this thing working. And even then I did have to, I've still got a bit of clay in there, haven't I? Yes, that's all right. Even then I had to kind of, you know, really get creative. I mean, you know, the porcelain crucible to make lava to fuel this, because obviously in TerraFirmaCraft you can't pick lava up in a bucket until you get to blue steel. So things, but this was gated behind so much stuff, and it really didn't need to be. I think there was some gating in here. This thing was gated heavily for the hammers. It's, yeah, I had issues with some of the design considerations, because again, this is my philosophy in things. We play these games to have fun. Yeah, there you go. The darkness mod really just changes the way everything looks. So yeah, I mean, our storeroom hasn't expanded from this, and this has kind of worked for us pretty well, you know. We added a bit for the ores, which we never really used. We did manage to get a furnace, but they only got that through the graces of the dungeons, which in themselves are not scaled very well for the game. But yeah, and our horse is still somewhere out in the wild. I don't know where. Actually, let's just go and see if we can't bring him home, because I feel wrong that he's not there to be, not where he belongs. But yeah, this is the mineral tracker for me has never worked. I don't know again whether that's just something that I've broke when I've been faffing around with it or what. It doesn't really matter, because waypoints are easy enough to handle. But have I got a thing for my horsey? Let's have a look. Horsey. Horse. I don't think my horse is here. Call me suspicious, but that does not look like a horse to me. Wizard fly spell. Ooh, wonder what that. Run away. I don't even know what that was. Evil wizard dungeon. Coal quarry. I've lost my horse, obviously, and there is a rotten chicken on the floor. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, it has been a blast. I haven't got, I don't think, the longevity out of this that I have previous seasons of TerraFirmaCraft. And what's your fly spell? Oh wow, I need an astral diamond. Okay, I don't have an astral diamond. I don't even know where I would get an astral diamond. Sorry, sir, you have not on a sale. That's probably why I don't have flight. I don't even know how Electroblob's fly spell works, but I'm going to guess it's a very time limited flight spell. Things like, again, if I'm brutally honest, having immersive engineering. Let's head back to the castle a bit. having immersive engineering, so the crusher, the grinder, the crusher, the electric furnace thing, all of those stuff, they're just gated so far behind everything that, you know, this is as far as I really wanted to take it. I didn't need to take it any further. This thing here gave me every single trick I need to get the pig iron, combine that with the TerraFirmaCraft furnace, and we skip entire chunks of TerraFirmaCraft. Yeah, just strange. Shame our young... How? Of course. Don't you run away from me, young sheep. Hup, hup, hup. Where's the other one? There. See, the sheep, that one's taken a little bit of damage, but they haven't taken much. I just don't know how. I mean, this hitbox thing, as they grow, because they don't go, unlike vanilla sheep, they don't go and get bigger and bigger. They don't go baby sheep, baby sheep, baby sheep, baby sheep, big sheep, or, you know, as the video goes, I'm a sapling, I'm a tree. They get bigger over time, and they do increase their hitbox as they grow. I've definitely got less piglets, for example. Well, he's nearly dead. I had quite a lot of piglets, actually, and now I have one. Am I down to one? Wow. I really have taken a hammering on those. So that's an issue, but yeah, there's not a huge amount I can do about that now. What is that? Sorry, I'm just getting distracted by things. It's a llama. But on the whole, this has been an enjoyable series. There have been points or period note. Now I could have sworn I had 2 goats as well, which suggests that one has either died or escaped, and I don't know where it is. You can hear a slight beeping, by the way. It's next door's alarm. It has a habit of going off for days. Yeah, don't know where. I think so. Certainly, I mean, one of these horses was pregnant. I've gotten, but not that, because obviously that's a stallion. But I'm sure the mare was. Oh yeah, still pregnant. Okay, that's fine. Get out. But I have no illusions that would live to see adulthood. So there are issues, but that's modern Minecraft for you, isn't it? But yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It would have been nice if making the bricks, or there were more variety. So actually having the better dungeon tops change their rocks based on the biome they're in would have given me more selection of bricks to build with, because obviously I've not made all of those bricks. I would have gone through chisels like they're going out of fashion. But on the whole, this has been an enjoyable series. The thing every 10 days is not the end of the world with the waystones, because I can still adventure and teleport back quite cheaply, unlike, say, vintage storage, where, you know, every 10 days you get the temporal storm, and if you're not in a safe area, it can be quite leery, shall we say. Bears, as ever in TerraFirmaCraft, remain bad news. But of course in this we also have bad news, direwolves, bad news, I'm presuming lions or tigers somewhere. Bad news doggies, bad news everything. So you hit night time, you end up with bad news wildlife. But on the flip side of that, you don't end up with bad news zombies, or bad news skeletons, bad news creepers, or any of the other normal vanilla mobs. They only spawn underground. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'm not entirely sure how Greg Tech will go as a series, but I'm willing to give it a try. Whether I will take it all the way to its logical conclusion. Why can I not jump on that? Okay, fine. Logical conclusion, because I'm pretty certain it has some form of galacticraft or space travel in there, and my experience with those mods is mixed, so that's fair dues. But on that note, I'm not sure how long I've been waffling for. I have enjoyed the chisels and bits made this defensible. Certainly got lots of supplies and everything laid away, and I think that will leave us for this episode, for this series. In fact, it was suggested I could find a mate and get this lady. I'm just, if you hold still long enough for me to see your gender thing, a mate and a thing. But again, I would be just filling in time to make another episode to make it to this mythical 80, which, and I'm air quoting here, and I realise none of you can see me. Anyway, on that note, thank you everybody for watching. It has, as always with these series, been a pleasure. They've had their moments of irritation, we've had our moments of happiness, we've had moments of pain, glory, and all sorts of things, but at the end, all series come to an end. This is no exception. So till next time, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next series. Bye for now.